this nigga just till he stops doing the business. If a nigga thought you was help, that could really ruin your image. We're talking Barack and Michelle, Cap and Real. It's us. Y'all the poster child symbol for black love. That's our marriage is still had to go through them stages. Every interview, he shows admiration and tell the world how he think his woman the greatest. And held you down in prison for 6 years.
Remy Ma seemed to be at last seeing the consequences of her decisions and how much her marriage to Papoose slipped through her fingers. Papoose served as the model for loyalty for many years. Even when she was serving time, he remained by her side during the hardest moments, ensuring that her name would live on in hip-hop and never faltering in his commitment. However, the foundation broke down when Remy went off course and teamed up with one of his protégés. Papoose didn't ignore it or get away with it this time. Rather, he established boundaries, went on, and demonstrated that even the most devoted spouse has boundaries. Now that Papoose and Caressa Shields are starting a new chapter in their lives, Remy appears to be finding it difficult to accept that he is content without her. She has reportedly been contacting people in dubious ways, but Caressa isn't ignoring it. The champion called her out, stating unequivocally that she will not put up with any devious actions. And to be honest, you can't ignore Clarissa. She isn't your typical chick. She is among the most accomplished athletes in existence. Her record speaks for itself, as she has won all 4 major boxing titles in 3 different weight classes and excelled in both boxing and mixed martial arts. She is respected, successful, rich, and a strong individual in her own right. Remy finds this dynamic hurtful in part because of this. Papoose didn't simply walk away, he advanced with a partner that matched his level of power and accomplishment. This is difficult to portray as a decrease, and she may be secretly getting frustrated because of that contrast. Ree's influence on hip-hop is undeniable. Of course, she has established a respectable reputation in actuality, though she put everything on the line when she went out with Easy, the block captain. She lost more than just her spouse in that gamble. She lost the man who used to be the epitome of loyalty. Papoose wasn't the kind to dismiss the rumors when they originally surfaced about what Remy Ma and fight rapper Easy the block captain. Tension erupted.
Yeah, that's why I said I love him. I love having his support. You know what I'm saying? His support is like very, very different from what I've had in the past, and how he speaks to me and stuff is very different. There you go. We deserve each other. But I don't know, it's kind of one of those things. I was like, I want to keep him all to myself. I didn't really.
According to accounts, he faced Easy head-on and laid him down. Papoose's life took a drastic change at that point. Even Remy wasn't prepared to acknowledge it. The marriage was already ended. He had already made the decision to leave, even though she refuted rumors and presented their relationship as strong. First in private, then in public. He proceeded with Clara Shields. The way Papoose conducted himself added to its strikingness. He refrained from making the breakup into a circus, didn't sulk online, and didn't bring up Remy's name. However, Remy's attitude changed, and she launched an offensive once his relationship with Caressa was made public. People were chatting. Because of the timing, Remy started a series of internet posts right as Caressa was celebrating the news of a major biopic about her life that will star Ryan, Destiny, and other well-known actors. It was obvious to fans that she was attempting to lessen Caressa's brilliance. Remy posted what she said were private conversations between Caressa and Papoose on Instagram, portraying them as evidence that their affair started before her marriage was finalized. Asterisk. You're married, so if you can't call or meet, at least let me know you got home safely, was one purported text message from Caressa. Don't simply faint in the Sprinter without expressing your feelings. An asterisk. Remy quickly hung up when she heard my voice, but she insulted the texts by adding, cutting comments like *world champion. In the ring, she went one step further and accused Caressa's public relations staff of fabricating unfavorable news preserve her reputation and promote Papoose. Remy said she had pleaded with him to put an end to the stories, but he had dismissed her. She claims that at one point, Papoose even claimed that Caressa wasn't appealing to him, but she had the invoices to back it up. Additional purported texts showed that Caressa was anxious about her reputation and concerned that her movie marketing would be hampered by the stolen communications. One asterisk reads, "You need to fix this today. My debut cannot be overshadowed by this. According to my PR staff, an asterisk." Remy made fun of her for worrying and mockingly referred to her as Miss Shields. She boasted about her own commitment, asserted that she was the marriage's financial leader, and concluded with stern cautions like, "Don't test me. I'm not the one, asterisk." That's when Papoose finally answered. He reacted negatively to Ree's narrative, denouncing her charges as sour and false. He maintained that she had cheated on him several times, called her actions manipulative, and claimed that she was making up texts to change the story. Additionally, he disclosed that Remy had turned down his repeated requests for a divorce, preferring to cause a commotion in public. He acknowledged the widely reported altercation with ease and clarified that his ire was motivated by respect rather than adultery alone, while covertly having an affair with his wife, Ezzy, had shaken his hand in friendliness. According to Papoose, Ezzy ended up on the ground without even swinging back. After his daughter, he claimed that Remy pleaded with him to deny the confrontation ever took place, but he refused. Remy, on the other hand, intensified her own rebuttals. She accused Papoose of lying to elicit sympathy, denied taking her child away for the holidays, and claimed he was the one delaying the divorce until it was publicized, flipping the script to claim she had been the one requesting a discreet split. She further claimed he was pushing her for money due to financial difficulties. Remy claims that he was angry with her for being independent, supporting up-and-coming musicians, and participating in a rap battle league despite his efforts to portray her as the antagonist in the narrative. She accused him of holding on to the black love image they had created. The love tale that had previously represented black love had fallen apart under public scrutiny by the time the dust settled. Instead of being handled discreetly behind the scenes, it turned into a public soap opera including text leaks, allegations, and clapbacks. With Caressa Shields being caught in the middle, the narrative that fans saw online wasn't accurate. According to Remy, she portrayed Papoose as having a second life, surreptitiously entering and leaving her house undetected, while grinning next to her at a ward. Events. She even claimed that her personal protection was aware of his late-night activities. She continued to present herself as a devoted wife. Nevertheless, according to her account of events, Papoose was putting together appearances, fabricating tales in the press, and arranging an image to make their marriage appear flawless. She says this while fighting his own feelings of envy. Then the charges became more serious. Remy asserted that she was not just misled but also hurt, claiming that there were times when disputes turned violent. She even claimed that after a heated argument in their garage, construction workers renovating their pool had to contact the police. She gave Papoose a direct warning, claiming to have recordings to support her claims and that the truth will soon be revealed. However, her annoyance with Caressa went beyond romance. It was intimate. Remy disclosed that she and Caressa had really been friends before the controversy. She shared what she said were previous direct conversations between them, in which Caressa once asked for help and they exchanged kind pleasantries. Someone grinning in her face while covertly becoming closer to her spouse seemed to Remy like evidence of treachery. She took to the internet to complain, claiming that she had assisted in Caressa's development, only to be betrayed in return. Caressa finally spoke at that point. "I can't believe a grown woman is acting like this straight clown stuff," she said, dismissing Ree's internet campaign as juvenile. An asterisk Remy retaliated by pointing out Clarissa's age, making fun of her appearance, and adding more shade. Your partner was busy this week with a collie girl, so tell him to give you gifts instead of ignoring your calls. Clarissa swiftly responded, refuting the allegations and charging Remy with creating fictitious text exchanges in order to remain relevant. It's crazy when asterisks are used in texts. Asterisk was written by her. Bullying me is not acceptable. You look silly. You're angry and you're resentful. She then publicly challenged him, raising the stakes even further. An asterisk Clarissa Shields versus Remy Ma. February 2nd. Let's settle this when you enter the ring. Everyone was aware that was one battle Remy was not going to engage in. Of course, it wasn't fair to take on one of the best female boxing champions in history. She didn't reply, which is not unexpected. For a time, everything became quiet, and it appeared as though the fire was going out. However, Clarissa had another epiphany. She said that in an attempt to get Papoose back, Remy had been secretly sending him flirtatious pictures. Papoose and Clarissa, meanwhile, were living life to the fullest in the public eye. They traveled frequently, attended important events, and publicly celebrated their romance. Clarissa made it clear that she believed their relationship was genuine and enduring, when she even acknowledged that she had fallen in love with him. Not only a recovery, the story between Clarissa Shields, Papoose, Ma, and Remy only continues getting bigger. The most recent tidings suggest that a whole new chapter may be on the horizon. There are rumors that Papoose is more than just a casual admirer of Clarissa. In fact, he is getting ready to make a move with a proposal. For a guy who was traumatized by treachery and spent years demonstrating to the world what devotion looked like, it is significant. Rather than harboring bitterness, he is prepared to move on and establish new roots with Clarissa. This does not, of course, imply that Remy is becoming less prominent. She's allegedly still attempting to grab his attention by sending dubious pictures, dropping clues, and doing everything it takes to keep him interested, according to reports. On the other hand, Clarissa does not mind playing games. Known for her self-assurance both within and outside of the ring, sources claim she is more than willing to defend her partnership. The fans' opinions are divided. Some claim Remy is being untidy, while others believe the blogs are only agitating the situation. Watchers of hip-hop are unable to turn away. In any case, it is particularly outrageous in light of the fact that Remy and Papoose's bond was formerly seen as impenetrable. Most people believed Remy's marriage and career were finished when she was sentenced to jail in 2008. Papoose, on the other hand, stunned everyone. He married her while incarcerated, preserved her reputation in society, and elevated himself to a position of devotion on asterisk hip-hop and love in New York. Asterisk. Their tale served as a brilliant illustration of Black love. This pair became the ones who had made it through everything. Cracks, however, started to appear as the years passed. By 2023, rumors that Remy was dating Easy, the Block Captain, a promising battle rapper, began to circulate. Soon, behind-the-scenes rumors and videos appeared to support the growing volume of rumors. It was Remy who had left the marriage. Papoose allegedly confronted Easy face-to-face, which only made the situation worse. Although Remy never came clean about the affair, her evasive answers didn't help either. Fans believe that spoke volumes since. Despite her claims that the rumors were nasty, she never flatly refuted them. Papoose's behavior, however, made it apparent that he was finished. After ceasing to write about her and putting some distance between himself and everyone, he startled them all by showing up brandishing Clarissa Shields. Clarissa is not your typical companion. Power, tenacity, and supremacy have been the cornerstones of her career as one of the most accomplished athletes in the world. Known as the GWAT and the greatest woman of all time, Papoose's new relationship seemed to many followers like his ultimate decision to put strength and serenity over turmoil. However, Remy didn't go in silence. Rather, she reportedly started showing up online with cryptic messages and hints about their past and locations she knew he would be. What's the issue? Many followers thought she was desperate because of her actions rather than powerful. For someone who had established herself as an unstoppable force, the optics weren't favorable. When purported receipts appeared online, things became more heated. As screenshots and purported communications started to circulate, Remy was portrayed as acting strangely in an attempt to get Papoose back. The most shocking accusation was that she tried to entice him back by sending him private images. The harm to Remy's reputation was evident, regardless of whether those receipts were authentic. Once applauding her for her power and independence, her admirers were now doubting her judgment. Conversely, Claressa appeared more resilient, standing her position and not allowing anybody to jeopardize her partnership. The key issue now is whether Papoose will actually pop the question to Claressa and end his years with Remy. If so, does this narrative become one about moving on and creating new legacies instead of a chaotic love triangle? One person who doesn't back down from a challenge is Claressa Shields. Rumor has it that she has spoken with Remy personally over the interference, making it obvious that she is not going to back down. Fans instantly connected her to Remy because of the subtle and not so subtle shade she has thrown on social media and in interviews. The champion even made a suggestion that she would be prepared for anything if they ever met. The internet was aflutter with that assurance. Jokes about Remy not wanting to take a world champion's hand were shared on various timelines. The public is unquestionably in Claressa's favor. Here we are. Then, is Remy really being desperate, or is the internet exaggerating this issue? She merits grace, according to some. After all, people make errors. There are many who think she's just dealing with the consequences of her choices. Claressa is commended in the meanwhile for refusing to back down and for not allowing her relationship to be manipulated. The crowd obviously likes her poise and confidence more than her clumsy antics. Then came the most unexpected turn yet. According to insiders, Claressa criticized Remy for supposedly trying to woo Papoose back by sending him explicit photos. The charge alone has people talking, and not in a positive way for Remy. Regardless of whether the pictures are ever seen, this individual established a reputation for authority, respect, and toughness. She's being portrayed as desperate now, holding on to a love that she let go of. It indicates how much Claressa's presence has unsettled her. If the charges are true, the distribution of power has changed. Papoose was the devoted one for years, the man who always supported Remy, while she is apparently rushing to get his attention back. He is now prospering with a new partner. Papoose may be prepared to pop the question to Claressa, according to rumors, which would heighten the drama of the tale. It won't only be a victory for him personally if that occurs. It may signify the formal end of the black love story he once told Remy and cause a societal revolution. Rumor has it that Remy isn't prepared to see that occur. It is said that she is still looking for methods to break their relationship by bringing up their secret history. However, they remind us that once trust is lost, it cannot be restored by recollections. There is more to this tale than just a love triangle. It concerns who is in charge, reputation, and legacy.